The full episode is now available on Patreon and YouTube memberships. Please see the link in the description for more details.
But speaking of space stuff, Mando. So episode 2 and 3. Have you watched it? I'm assuming.
I did.
I'm gonna be very honest with you. Like episodes 1, 2, and 3, which is so far those are that have come out. Season 1 and 2 had a better start than season 3 so far for me, at least. Like I'm waiting for it to get better.
So the minute like we were like 20, like episode 3 is its own thing. So I was like 20 minutes in to episode 3, and I totally realized I was just like, this is not written by Jon Favreau. Like, this is just not written by Jon Favreau. I can just totally
How can you tell?
You know, it's so, because it was like the plot was like completely
like
different,
Andor,
right? Like a normal Mando episode is really empty, like fan service of Mando going to a planet with the little guy. You know, there's some sort of like local problem, and then Mando has to like kill the monster, or like, you know, kill the battalion of stormtroopers, and then get out of there, right? Mm-hmm. That's like a typical Mando episode. This Mando's hardly in it, and it's instead a story detailing ex-Imperials being reintegrated into the New Republic, and the program is like completely suspicious, and like the one character is getting roped into exposing himself,
Dr. Pershing,
as still totally into the Empire, and you like question the morality of the system and the characters around you, and that character, and who's good and whatever, and the bureaucracy, like the fact that it's about bureaucracy. Like I texted Carmine and I was like, yeah, they slipped in an episode of Andor in the middle of Mando.
You weren't the only person to say that to me. It's so weird. Like,
yeah, now it's not nearly as good as Andor. Not nearly as good.
No,
like, not in the same universe, but it was still much more like Andor than it was like Mando. Like it was really predictable, the whole thing.
I didn't think she was going to betray him. I thought she was still working for Moff Gideon, because I don't think she's Moff Gideon's right hand, but she's like on his council or something, or an officer. I
think she is. I think she's still working for Moff Gideon. I think she's like, but using people to endear herself to the Republic. Like, I'm so good for the Republic. I'll out these other people. I'm one of you, until she rises. But she's totally like evil and still working for Moff Gideon.
That's what I was confused about. Is like I get that she was still evil, but what I was confused about is whether or not she was either trying to get Pershing's research to Gideon, or punishing Pershing. It felt more at the very end like she was punishing him or keeping the secret safe, which is kind of redundant, because you think the New Republic would have interrogated the hell out of Pershing to get all like the secrets of what he was doing for Gideon. So it would kind of be pointless for her to kill him off. So it felt more like punishment.
It didn't seem realistic to me that a character that was as important as him would fall into the bureaucracy so easily. Like, he's getting dealt with by bureaucratic droids, and, you know, given jobs that where middle managers are passing by and giving him like random files to delete and whatever. Like, it just doesn't seem like that's how that character would be handled. You know, like, oh, you were dealing with cloning technology and had a baby Yoda and all that, like all sorts of stuff. Like, that's pretty important stuff. Like, unless the galaxy has a bazillion stories like that, and it's just crazy diverse with like what they're dealing with, that he was thrown into the bureaucracy like that.
Didn't some Nazi scientists get roped into like doing stuff for the American government, like under amnesty?
Oh yeah, well, yeah, definitely.
Was that called Paperclip?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So there's no Operation Paperclip where he's like he's just giving a job at Burger King and that's it. That's essentially what happened, and that's it.
I just couldn't believe that they would like pass over his psychological examination to like a droid that's worse than a Chat GPT. You know, like it's, or that he was given so much freedom to begin with, based on what he did. Like, there's so many things that were really not realistic about it. Like, you know, because like at the end, like you see that they're giving him a lobotomy, and they only want to give him a slight lobotomy, and then she goes and gives him a heavy lobotomy. But like, if you're the type of organization that are giving lobotomies, you're not the type of organization that's going to be nice enough to give people, you know, freedom of on Coruscant to walk around. You know, it's just a lot of stuff just contradictory. Now, I think the episode was good. I think it was a really good episode for the most part for Mando, because Mando is not very complicated. Like, I liked the fact that there was at least some complexity to a Mando episode, but you know, nothing about it really made sense. You know, like a character that important wouldn't be given so much freedom, and he wouldn't be thrown into the bureaucracy like that. And he wouldn't be put so close to another Moff Gideon person. And I don't know. I saw also coming from a mile away.
That's such a good point that, oh my God, we made this. So there's a clip, for those of you who don't know, there's a clip that Preston and I have. I put it up on TikTok. It actually is doing very well in views on TikTok. I also made a YouTube short. We were discussing how, you made a very good point when we were watching Kenobi. Like, how the fuck does nobody know that this guy is on this planet? And we were making the point that the Empire is so filled with bureaucracy that at some point someone had to have reported Kenobi. It's just under a mountain of paperwork that nobody wants to get to. And I feel as though the same thing is happening here. Like it's under a mountain of paperwork that Pershing and Kane like work together on Gideon's ship, but nobody wants to get to the paperwork to sort it out. It's just whatever. So it's the same thing. Repeat. I actually had a different opinion about the episode. I thought it was I was hyped because like the first 5 minutes, whoa, TIE interceptors, Bo-Katan, let's fucking go. And then, and then it gets hyped up back again in the last 5 minutes where they go to the Enclave. And that's how I felt about episode 2 as well. And 1, kind of, you know? Like, hype.
I'm sure the beginning and end were written by Jon Favreau, but also, like, because it was just a completely different style. But, like, come on, like, how basic and dumb is the Mandalorian religion that, oh, you bathed in the water? I guess you're one of us now. Like, no. Like, you still have to, like, fundamentally believe the fundamental principles. It's like, if you go to, so the in Islam, or you're forgiven of all your sins if you do an Umrah or a Hajj. Or in Catholicism, you are forgiven of all your sins if you confess them to a priest. However, you still need to fucking believe in God, like, in order to like be part of the religion, right? Like, Bo-Katan doesn't accept or believe any of their tenets, so she cannot be one of them. Like, oh, you bathed in your water? I guess you're one of us now because you haven't taken off your helmet. Like, really, like, that's the only aspect of your whole fucking religion is taking off your helmet? Like, that's it. Like, you don't have to believe in any sort of, like, weird, like, higher power. You don't have to, like take any vows or believe their sets of you know, dogma. None of it. Like, nope, it's just you haven't taken off your helmet yet. Like, that's it. That's the only fucking thing that they believe in is the fucking helmet. Like, it's the most basic, dumb religion. Like, what do you believe in, man? Like, oh yeah, no, I'm a follower of this Mandalorian cult. Really? Like, so what's it about? Like, what's the fundamental beliefs? Well, we can't take off our helmet.
Ever.
Yeah.
Ever.
Okay. Is there anything else? Nope. Oh yeah, and if we do something bad, we've got to bathe in some water. Like, that's it. Like, that's the end. Like, that's the end. The beginning and the end of your religion is helmet. Is there like a reason behind it? Like what's the reasoning? Like, is that to honor a god? Like it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I just can't fucking take off the helmet. And if you haven't taken off your helmet, I guess you're part of the religion too. Like,
I would love it. I would love it if their god is just one giant helmet. It's not even a person. It's a giant helmet. Fucking Star Wars. Fucking Star Wars. No, it's just like the entire, like the first 5 minutes, last 5 minutes, hype. Okay, let's go. Same with episode 2. Episode 2 was weird, cool, but weird. Like a good chunk of the middle is Din Djarin getting his ass kicked, and then Baby Yoda crying back to Bo-Katan, and Bo-Katan is the Mandalorian this season. She is the Mandalorian.
Yeah,
she's the only one that's been exciting me. Din Djarin is just doing tasks. Video game tasks.
I didn't really understand the geography. Like Bo-Katan's planet is in the same system as ruined Mandalore, and like she never ever bothered like taking that short flight over to check out the planet. But meanwhile, Mando is like, you know what? I'm going to check out the planet. Okay. Then he flies all the way to fucking Tatooine. And then all the way fucking back. Like, what the fuck? Like, what? Why did he even fly to Tatooine? I don't...
To get a droid to check if the place is poisonous enough, which Bo-Katan has a droid that could do that. I'm assuming.
I don't, yeah. He had to go all the way to the Outer Rim to get a droid.
Droid.
Unless, I mean, maybe Mandalore is I guess if Boba Fett is hanging out on Tatooine, it somewhat makes sense that Mandalore is near Tatooine.
I don't think Boba Fett gives a fuck about Mandalore. I'm pretty sure he doesn't care that much.
Yeah, you're right, because it was really Jango Fett.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. You're right. And the Empire is heavily involved in the whole idea is that Tatooine is kind of on the Outer Rim, kind of on the outskirts of the Empire. Like the Empire only has like loose influence on Tatooine.
So what did you think of episode 2? We spoke briefly about episode 3. What did you think about episode 2? Kind of weird. Once again, it's like episode 3 where the middle is just, we got like a cyborg thing and he's just exploring and fighting these like weird guys in monster costumes, which I appreciate. I appreciate the effort.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose. I mean, I was thoroughly entertained with episode 2. Like, I wanted to see the planet. I thought it was, cool exploring and doing something a little bit different than a typical Mando episode. But it did seem a little easy, like it seemed a little easy that he was just able to go down and find the water. To
be fair,
it's hard for me to believe
he did get captured by a cyborg monster thing, which is never explained. So
that's true. However, I still find it hard to believe that in all of the time that Mandalore has been destroyed like that no Mandalorians went back to check it out. Especially Bo-Katan, who lives in the same system.
Yeah.
With a droid. Like just to go down and find relics and shit, man. Just like send down some droids, take some pictures, get some statues or something. Check out that cult. Like, wouldn't they want to find out about the water? Like, you don't think in the how long has it been? Has it been 30 years since Mandalore was bombed?
I feel like a couple decades.
In that time, there hasn't been a single other Mandalorian who like took off his helmet that was told like, fuck, dude, you need to have forgiveness. Like, no other Mandalorian fucked up.
I'm gonna give them the benefit of the doubt where the whole planet is trashed. It may not be a radioactive wasteland, but it is a wasteland. There's nothing left there for anybody to build upon at all. So it may not be radioactive and poisoned, but it's still a wasteland nonetheless. I mean, You want to be king of the ashes? Cool, you'll still be king of the ashes. Nothing else.
I was just expecting like some sort of storms or like something that made it look like pretty.
They did have storms when he's like coming down. It reminds me of like the how the planet looks like in the third Matrix film, where Neo goes up in the atmosphere and like he sees the sun for a bit, but down below the storm clouds. Yeah. So yeah, I know what you mean. So kinda, yeah. But for the most part, episode 2 was fine. It was the Bo-Katan. So far, this has been Bo-Katan's story. Mando's just kind of in it.
Yeah, I mean, they could have. First of all, like him exploring Mandalore and eventually making it to the waters could have been several episodes.
Really,
like,
you think
why
so?
Why did it have to be like? Oh yeah, absolutely. Think of all of the different things and adventures he could find, like all like the problems and monsters that he could run into on his quest.
You know what? That makes me wonder.
Instead, it's like, this is your quest. Next episode done. Like, that was easy.
That makes me wonder what else they have in store for the entirety of the season, because like. Actually, but at the same time, that makes me worry. So it makes me wonder because his quest is done. That was his whole thing in Book of Boba Fett, like in the middle, that he has to do this one thing, and he did it in the first 2 episodes. Done. Okay.
Right. This is our problem. My problem with Mando in general is how fast they move. Like, oh, I've got to find. I give Grogu away. He's back. Like next episode. Like, you took off your helmet. You need to go on this big quest. Okay, done. Like, man, that was fast. Fucking fast.
I think Andor has spoiled us a little bit, because Andor was like complicated and there was more nuance to it. This is just simplistic.
Oh my god, it was so fucking good.
This is just simplistic, and I don't know. I like it.
Every Mando episode feels like it's written by a 14-year-old. I don't know. Like, granted, it's got like it's it's beautiful sets and creative monsters and stuff like that, but like it all feels like it's written by a 14-year-old. Like,
you know what? I wouldn't mind this. I know I'm gonna get some flack for this. I wouldn't mind if the Mandalorian shifted from Din Djarin to Bo-Katan, because it's really starting to become about her, and I'm okay with that. Mando's story is he found Baby Yoda, he got Baby Yoda to his clan. The clan, said you can go back to your guy. He got redeemed. What does he do next? Go back to bounty hunting? What is there left for him to do? Like, the story is really with Bo-Katan now, trying to reunite the Mandalorian people. And she saw the mythosaur, and for some reason didn't tell him? Oh, by the way, this asshole steps in this fucking pool.
Yeah, that was really weird.
Full armor?
Did you see anything down there? And did she ask him about the mythosaur, or did he?
No, she goes, did you see anything down there while you were like sinking like a rock, like a boulder down there? And he goes, no, I didn't see anything. She's all right, cool. I don't know why she's keeping that to herself. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. That's really weird.
And
I'm sure like next episode she's gonna reveal it and it's not gonna be a problem.
And for some reason like, the Empire is after her for some reason. Okay. And all her sidekicks left her because she didn't have. Because she had like that one woman who was like her sidekick and seemed like her best friend and fought with her.
Yeah.
And now she's gone because you don't have the Darksaber? Really? It matters that much? Okay.
She's just hanging out in her castle in her armor.
You didn't have
chilling.
You didn't care before that Bo didn't have the Darksaber, but now you really care, so you leave. Okay, cool.
Yeah, it's so. See, now that we get into like the nitpicking mode, we're like, oh man, nothing about Mando makes any sense.
These 3 episodes have been okay. It's not what I expected, but at the same time, you're right. Yeah. This is a very simplistic story, and we're coming off the heels of Andor, where Andor had like nuance and story and character development and blah blah blah, and this is just about a guy with a green thing, and that's it. Most of their stories are done, so it really should shift to Bo-Katan. The story should really just follow Katie Sackhoff, who I would imagine is much cheaper to hire than Pedro Pascal, who's on fire right now everywhere. So,
oh, I mean, but they got him. Probably got some contract. We'll see, where he's. They got him this season at least before they gotta pay more little chunk change.
I would be completely okay moving this Katie Sackhoff. She is so fucking beautiful, God And the fact that she's gonna keep her helmet on, thanks, guys. Thanks, assholes.
I am surprised that you've never seen her in Battlestar.
No, I haven't. Battlestar was on Sci-Fi, and I didn't really fuck with the Sci-Fi channel that much back in the day. Back when I did have cable, I didn't really go on Sci-Fi. Only when they like showed Tremors. I always loved the Tremor movies. Katie Sackhoff. Let me look her up. Fire. You said Battlestar.
Yeah, Battlestar Galactica.
Why did I think Firefly for a minute there? Whoa, she looks vastly different. Whoa.
Mm-hmm. Well, keep in mind, this is like, it's getting to the point where like Battlestar was like 20 years ago now. How long ago was Battlestar Galactica?
Oh, I almost don't even want to know.
I know. Right? Like how
I may have seen her in some promotional material for Battlestar.
No, okay. Battlestar was 2004 to 2009. So it was 14 years ago.
Yeah, I probably did see her. She was, whenever I did see anything Battlestar in like promotions and commercials, there was always like a really hot, skinny blonde, and I'm assuming that was her.
No, there was a different one.
Oh,
so so Battlestar. By the way, like this is the funny thing about Battlestar, like. So in the original Battlestar Galactica, the one from the late 70s, Starbuck and Apollo are two men. And so when they rebooted Battlestar Galactica, they gender swapped Starbuck. And of course, like at the time, everybody's like, why did they have to do this? And then like the series happened and Katie Sackhoff is just so incredibly good in her role that people shut the fuck up immediately. And they're like, oh, never mind. She's like the best character ever. And then they made the Cylons from a bunch of like awkward robots into like sexy, hot people and stuff like that. Like they could all mimic humans, like down to cellular level. You can't like tell. And that kind of stuff. So the sort of like normal hot blonde is like this one that's constantly seducing this guy named Balder, and Katie Sackhoff is like the hotshot pilot who and stuff like that. So it was a really great series until it wasn't. and then it's just destroyed itself. It destroyed itself. It's too bad.
good on her. I'm glad she's consistently getting work. She was on Nip Tuck. I've seen all of Nip Tuck. Oh, nice. She was on Nip Tuck, Workaholics. Oh, nice. Longmire. Oh, shit. Nice. Good on her. I like Katie Sackhoff. I'm legit. Petition. Katie Sackhoff should be the Mandalorian. It should be like one of those anthology series. I know my love of anthologies, where the Mandalorian is like the new every season. It's the Mandalorian. I'd be cool with that.
They follow a different Mandalorian.
Mm-hmm. They'll never do that because Baby Yoda. There's no reason for Baby Yoda to be with Bo-Katan's character.
Yeah, I mean, but, Baby Yoda could be transferred. There could be some shifting plot. But they could have done, you're right that they could have done, like, each season is something, like, the first season is Jyn, and then it's Boba Fett, and then it goes to Bo-Katan or something, and they just keep moving to a different Mandalorian.
There you go.
That would have been an interesting thing, yeah.
God damn it. Oh, well.
Yeah,
so far, first 3 episodes, they're okay. What did you think? The first 3 episodes?
It's fine. I thought the first episode was the worst. I thought it was fairly forgettable. Second one is I was fairly entertained with the adventure into the mines. I just felt that, man, it was just too easy and you went too fast. Like, why are you rushing this shit? Like, stretch this out. Let us breathe. Like, let us explore the world. I don't know why they need to go, straight into resolving every single plot and answering every mystery. And then the third episode was, I thought the third episode was the strongest one. And it was interesting, just, in the sense that it was kind of like an Andor episode but now that we're talking about it, it doesn't make any sense. Like the episode makes no sense at all, but I still think it was the best one of the season. Did you get any like sexual tension between the So who is the episode about? I'm forgetting these names because
It's
Star Wars and they name.
Dr. Pershing, who for some reason has glasses in a galaxy far, far away, where I'm assuming they'd wipe away all the eye problems, and Elia Kane, the
Elia.
Right. So I didn't get any.
Did you find that she was like trying to use like there was a bit like I don't know, like almost sexual seductive kind of aspect to her like character with the Doctor?
I don't think so. I don't know. Maybe
I just thought it was kind of interesting because she's such an androgynous character.
Right.
You know? Right.
I didn't want to say that she didn't swing that way. The actress herself, the actual woman, does not swing that way. So like it didn't. To me, it just felt like she was being very friendly, and Dr. Pershing was very shy and very closed off, and not very sociable, and she was just trying to get him to open up. So I didn't get the feeling at all. So
okay.
Did you? Did you get that feeling?
I don't know. I guess I thought it was a little bit. There's something weird inside, but I don't know. Maybe it's because they were like going on a date and stuff like that, and but maybe I'm reading into it. Maybe it's TV, and I'm just like everybody on screen is just having sex.
Yeah. Preston, do you mind if we wrap it up here?
Sounds good,
guys. Thank you so much for joining us. As always, we'll see you all next time. Have a good one.